afternoon. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sprinkel. I'm a lifetime resident of our community here. And 41 years before I graduated from Winter Park High School, my dad graduated from Winter Park High School. And I'm thankful all the time that when my parents met, they decided to make their home here in Winter Park. And I love this. I love this community. And I've got some great friends, and many of my friends today I met not just at Winter Park High School, but at Brookshire Elementary School years and years ago. And many of those friends my mom still knows as well, because she was always very involved in my education as well as the education of all of Winter Park's children growing up. But it's not just the people that make Winter Park such a great community, it's also this place, whether it be our chain of lakes or this great downtown that we have that we call Park Avenue. It truly is a great sense of place that we have here in Winter Park. But it's not just the people and the places that make Winter Park so great, it's also the leadership that we've had over the years. You look at Winter Park, and some years ago the leaders of Winter Park thought it would be a good idea to take Park Avenue and change it from an asphalt street to the beautiful brick street that we have there today, and re-image the streetscape and redo the crown jewel of Winter Park, Central Park, where we are right now. And I can think of no better time than right now to welcome a new leader to our community. So won't you please join me in welcoming my mom and our next Winter Park City Commissioner, Sarah Sprinkel.
I know you kind of think he should run, right? And he will someday. He will someday. First of all, thank you very much for coming out on this kind of cold day, and I very much appreciate your time and support. For the last 2 months, I've been asking you, my friends and my neighbors and my family, what is it you want to see in your next commissioner? And what you've told me are 3 things. First of all, you'd like to have someone who will listen to you. Secondly, you'd like to have someone who doesn't come to the City Commission with a preconceived agenda. And third, you've told me you want someone who will bring our community together. So we're here today because I believe I can be that person. I believe I am that person, and I ask you to come out today to help me, because this is nothing you can do by yourself. This is something, we're all here today because lots of people came together to help us get here. So I wanted you to come out today to hear the formal announcement, and then as you talk to your friends and neighbors during the holidays, you can tell them a little bit about why you believe Sarah Sprinkel is the very best person for the City Commission. So let me tell you a couple things that I want you to remember about me. First of all, you heard my son so eloquently talk about having me for a mom, but also know that as a mom, I've always been trained as a professional and also by nature to be a teacher. I'm very, very proud of my teacher role, because that is what I believe I was put on this earth to be. There's not a day that I don't wake up that I don't think of something I can do to help other people, and that's what teachers are. It's a helping profession. And as a teacher, I was taught to learn to listen, and I was taught to listen beneath the words. And if you're a teacher, you heard that expression, and you actually hear what kids say, sometimes without even knowing what the words are. You know their message, and so I am a very good listener. And already in the last 2 months, I can tell you that's what you want. You want someone to listen to you. I've already got a list of 5 things I have to go find out and go tell people about, because that's what people need. They needed someone to listen. The second thing you all have told me is you want someone who has no preconceived agenda. This bench, because the only agenda that I have is what we said when we bought this bench from my wonderful husband, who's right here. Don't have to call him because he's about 6 years ago. You know, we've been married 38 years next week, okay? And so about 6 years ago, when I thought I had given him everything you could possibly give your spouse, I said, a bench in Winter Park. That's one thing he would like. And it says here that this honors our friends and family who share our love for Winter Park. So the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because I'm sharing our love for Winter Park. It would be easier not to run sometimes, believe me, but I can't not run. I want to run for this position because I want to share this love for Winter Park. There's a great quote from Chief Osceola who says, "We are not actually inheriting this earth from our grandparents. We are borrowing it from our children. And as I see children like mine who stand up here today, I know that this world is going to be in great hands when the Adams and the Clarks of the world are the city leaders. But we're borrowing what we have from them. So that's the second reason. And the third reason is because I'm a peacemaker. I'm one of those people who has always been in the middle, okay? When I was in Orange County Public Schools for 33 years, I was very proudly put 7 satellite schools at businesses. And I was able to put the school board and the business together, and I love that. When I left the school board, I went to work with Central Florida YMCA and Disney World. And we put those two entities together to create child development centers for Disney employees' children. I was very proud of that project. And today, those kids are safe because of what we did. And even today, I put together virtual programs in regular schools and give kids options they would not have otherwise. So I love to put people together. And that's what I think our city needs now. Our city needs that peacemaker. They need that person who can put people together, who can collaborate for our city. So I'm going to end with a story, and the reason I'll end with a story is because the brain remembers the stories, whereas it does not remember facts and figures. So that is your educational fact for the day, okay? And this is a story that I'm not going to tell on Clark, although I tell many on him. This is a story I'll tell on myself. As a little kid, I'm a part of a big family, and I'm the middle child. The middle child is the peacemaker, and I still can hear my mom and dad telling this story, and they can still tell it at 90 and 91. What they will tell you is this. My brother, who seemed to be a little more hard-headed than the rest of us, one day got mad, and he was 7, and he went into the kitchen and he pulled out the drawer with all the silverware and dumped it on the floor. Well, that's not something you did in my house, okay? And so about that time, you could hear my daddy saying, "All right, Tommy, pick them up." Well, I don't know much, but I knew when my daddy said, "All right, Tommy, pick them up," something good wasn't going on. And so they still laugh and they say, it didn't take 2 seconds for Sarah Lynn, that's my middle name, or Sarah Lynn to run over there to that drawer and start saying, "I can pick them up, Daddy, look at this." And I sat there and I said, "Now, Annie," that was my little sister, "you pick up the spoons. Now, Marion, you pick up the knives. Now, Tommy, you pick up the forks." So before 2 seconds had gone by, that drawer got filled in and put back up, and my mother and daddy, I guess, just didn't know what happened. They looked at it and they said, without even meaning to, at 5 years of age, I was able to make sure they didn't have some kind of World War III over the silverware drawer. Well, I sort of feel that way about Winter Park right now. We need somebody who doesn't mind getting down on the ground, picking up the silverware and saying to people, "Come on, let's get together and do that." That's why I'm running for City Commission. But I can't do it without you. I really believe that as a community, that together we're better. I've always believed that, whether it's in a family or whether it's in a business or whether it's in this community, that the more we come together, the better we're going to be. So if we work together, and over the holidays you're talking to your friends and your neighbors and you say to them, "I think Sarah Sprinkel's the one," that's how we'll be together to move towards this next election. So let me give you a couple dates just so you'll keep them in mind. First of all, we qualify on December 28th, and I'll be there at 12:01 to qualify, okay? And I'm qualifying for a seat that the person who used to be in that seat or who's going to give up that seat isn't going to run for again. So I'm very glad that it's, in essence, an empty seat. The qualifying closes on January 4th. Now, January 5th, we're going to kick our party off. And on January 5th, we're going to have the time then to get this campaign going. Right now, we want you to enjoy your holidays with your family and friends, and all you have to do is get about 10 votes for me, and we'll be okay. So don't forget to talk about that, but go out and do it that way. And thank you so much for coming out, and have a wonderful holiday with your family. Thanks.